Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're all healthy and safe at home. So, let us continue with our chapter 4, bounded linear operators. We'll be discussing about a new topic, that is the concept of dual operators. Okay, so let's begin, or let's see what is actually dual operator. So, if A is a bounded operator, okay, A is an operator which is bounded from x to y, and phi is a bounded linear operator, that is phi is an element of y star. If phi is a mapping from y to y, so phi is an element of y star, then f of x is equal to phi of a of x. Okay, I hope the concept is clear. F of x, if we define f of x is equal to phi of a of x, clearly a is a function from x to y, so a of x is an element of y. So phi acting on some element of y, this is a pretty much clear definition, right? Because phi is an element of y star. Okay, so phi is a bounded linear operator on y, and phi of ax will be well defined because ax is an element of y. So if we consider f of x is equal to phi into a of x, this is clearly linear. There is no doubt in that. Why? Because f of x plus y will be equal to phi of a of x plus y. A of x plus y can be separated, right? Because both are linear functions. So that is the linearity of f is clear. And also, what will be mod of f of x? Mod of f of x will be equal to mod of phi of a of x. Okay, mod of phi of a of x will be less than equal to norm of phi into norm of a of x. That was the property of bounded operators, right? And again, a is bounded, so norm of a of x will be less than or equal to norm of a into norm of x. That is how we have obtained the inequality that modulus f of x is less than or equal to norm phi, norm corresponding to y star, norm phi into norm a into norm x. Okay, I hope the concept is clear. So since all these are bounded, a, phi, everything is bounded, we can say that modulus f of x also will be less than or equal to some infinity, that is, it will be a finite value. So f is linear and f is bounded, so it forms a bounded linear operator. And where is it acting? F is acting on x, an element in capital X. Okay, so f is an element of x star. So I hope the concept is clear. If we have a bounded operator a from x to y and a bounded linear operator on y, then if we define f of x is equal to phi a of x, then that function f is linear and it can be proved to be bounded. Therefore, that is an element of x star. Okay. Now we are going to define another map. How? With the help of this f and phi. We are considering the map a star from y star to x star. And how are we defining it? We are choosing an element in y star, that is to be phi, which we have already chosen. So a star phi is equal to f, because we have proved that f, if we define f as f of x is equal to phi of a of x, f is an element of x star. So if we have a bounded operator a from x to y, we can consider an operator or a map from denoted by a star from y star to x star, defined by a star phi is equal to f. Okay, so for every x element of capital X and phi element of y star, we have phi of ax will be equal to a star phi of x, because we had defined f of x is equal to phi of ax. So phi of ax is f of x and f is equal to a star phi by our definition of map. Okay, so we get phi of ax is equal to a star phi of x. This much is clear, I hope. So this map that we have defined right now is called the dual operator. So if we have a bounded operator a from x to y, we can form the dual of that operator a star from y star to x star, defined by a star phi is equal to f. Okay, this operator is clearly bounded, and also we'll be able to prove that norm of A is equal to norm of A star. So let's just see how we can prove the last point, that is norm of A is equal to norm of A star. Now let's see what will be norm of A. By the definition, norm A is nothing but supremum norm x equal to 1 modulus norm y of A of x, right? A of x is an element in y, so it will be depending on norm of y, norm that is defined in y. Now this is nothing but, again we'll apply the same concept of norm in A of x, that is norm supremum norm x equal to 1 supremum norm phi equal to 1 into modulus phi of A of x. Okay, so because we are considering y and the phi was an element in y star, so supremum of norm x, norm of A is supremum norm x equal to norm y of Ax, and norm y of Ax is again by definition that is equal to supremum norm of phi equal to 1 norm phi is equal to 1. I hope this concept is clear. So we'll apply the definition again on norm y of A of x, so that is nothing but supremum norm phi equal to 1 mod phi of A of x. Okay, now what we will do, we will replace the value of phi of A of x. Now this is equal to supremum, now I'm just interchanging this here, that is phi norm phi equal to 1 supremum norm x equal to 1. And what is phi of A of x? Phi of A of x is nothing but A star phi of x, that is what we just now did, right? A star phi of x. And so we can write this as supremum norm x is 1, right? So I can replace this by supremum norm phi equal to 1 into norm of A star of phi corresponding to x star, right? This is the same, because the same process is being repeated again. So when we have supremum norm x equal to 1 mod A star phi of x, that is nothing but norm A star phi corresponding to the space x star. Okay, so this is supremum norm phi equal to 1 norm of A star phi corresponding to x star, and this is nothing but norm of A star. So this proof is very much simple. So we are just applying the definition of the norm again and again. Okay, so I hope the concept is clear for you guys. We can easily see that the dual operator and the corresponding operator has the same norm. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to use a notation which is given in your textbook. Okay, that is for f belongs to x star and x element of x, we write f acting on x, that is f of x, as the close the bracket x f, that is inner product. This is what we have used for inner product, but it is actually not the inner product, it is just a notation. It is not inner product x f. Why? Because when we are treating inner product, we are considering a mapping from the same spaces, from one space to the same space itself. So the elements inside that triangular brackets will be the same, or will be of the same space, but here x is from capital X and f is from its dual. Okay, so the inner product xf instead of f of x, sometimes we write it in that form, that is inner product xf is equal to f of x. So with this notation, how can we write the dual operator? So here instead of phi, I am replacing it by f. Okay, so for all x element of x, capital X and f element of y star, we have actually what did we have? We had phi of a of x, right? So phi was acting on a of x, so we write inner product ax comma f. Instead of phi we have f here, so inner product ax f will be equal to a star phi of x, right? So that will be a star phi is acting on x, that is inner product x a star f. So I hope it's clear. You just look at this. This is the expression that we have changed into the notation right now, that is phi of a of x is equal to a star phi of x, and the only difference is instead of phi we are using f, an element of y star. So that is f of a of x is equal to a star f of x. Okay, so with the help of the new notation, it will be nothing but inner product ax of f is equal to inner product x a star f. But just keep in mind, even though I am saying it is as the inner product, it is actually not the inner product, it's just a notation that we are going to be using in this section. So I just want you guys to verify one thing, that is if a is an element of L of x comma y and b is an element of L of y comma z, then b a star, okay, is equal to a star into b star. So just try to prove this. It's a very easy proof. So b a whole star is equal to a star into b star. So just try to solve this section. So we had discussed what was meant by the dual operator. Corresponding to any bounded operator we can find a dual operator, and we had introduced a new notation. So just don't mix it with the inner product concept. It's just a notation that we are giving, that is inner product x a f is equal to inner product a star x f, inner product x a star f. So this is something that you have to keep in mind, and just try to solve this problem. So that's it for today's session. Thank you. Stay home and stay safe.